Today we're going to learn about printmaking. Printmaking is an ancient art form that's been practiced for thousands of years. The point of printmaking is to make several copies of the same image. So the artist would carve a picture into a piece of metal or a piece of wood using very sharp tools. He would then roll ink or paint on top of it, and then press his paper on top of that. And when he lifted the paper up, he would have created an image of his carving. We're going to do something similar today using styrofoam and pencils. To prepare your printing plate, you just need a styrofoam paper plate. I'm showing you how to do this in case you want to try to do this at home, maybe over the summer. But I will prepare the plates for you today. Once you cut the edge off the paper plate, you can trim it into a rectangle shape or keep it a circle if you would like to have a circle printing plate. Okay, we are ready to decide what kind of picture we want. Before you can get your styrofoam plate, you'll get a small white piece of paper and make a sketch of your idea. The most important part here is to make your sketch large enough that it fills up the entire paper. That is way too small. Let's try again. I am filling up the paper with my cat head. What about a landscape or a seascape? You could use one of the rolling games if you're stuck for an idea. Roll a Miro, or a new one called Roll a Picasso, which makes a strange and interesting face. I finally decided on one of my favorite subjects, a fish. Now you're ready for your piece of styrofoam, and you'll carefully redraw your picture using a pencil or a wooden pointy stick. I like to draw pretty lightly at first, and I go slowly. Then I will go over all my lines again a second time, pressing harder. I decided to go back and poke some dots into the styrofoam to add some texture for the bottom of the ocean. Adding dots and lines always make printmaking look a little more interesting. Now we are finally ready to start adding color to our plate. I'm just coloring in the different areas of the picture I made. The hardest part of this is keeping the markers off of your fingers as you're holding the print down. And now we are ready for the next step. Set your print aside, get a small white piece of paper and a damp sponge. You're going to lightly brush some of the water onto your paper. You don't want it to be very wet at all. In fact, you might need to wipe some off with a paper towel. Then pick up your print carefully on the edges, set it down on top of the wet piece of paper, and use the back of a marker and just roll it back and forth over your print. Try not to let the print move at all. And then lift up from the corner and look at the magic you have just created. But we are not done. The fun part of printmaking is making the images over and over again. So I took a paper towel and wiped off the remaining marker. Now I'm going to do a simpler one and just use 3 or 4 colors to quickly go over the plate. Get your paper and get it a little bit damp with your sponge again. Wipe off any extra water that you can see. And then place your print on top of the paper. Clean your plate off, and you are ready to print another one. Even a single color looks amazing. Some things to look out for: if your print is too light, you don't have enough water on the paper, and if the colors spread out and look like this, that means you have too much water on your paper. You can just keep practicing until your prints look just the way you want them to. I am so excited to see what you create today.